Hello my friends, welcome to another edition of Turtle Talk with your host, Canadian Turtle. Today we are going to be talking about why I got the Nintendo Wii. And here's some gameplay footage of me playing so you guys have something to look at while I talk. And you guys are most likely PS3 and Xbox gamers, so I'm guessing that your reaction is more like, Canadian Turtle, why the hell did you get a Wii? What about Modern Warfare 3? What about Uncharted 3? And all those other amazing games that came out on HD consoles. Well, to tell you guys the truth, I'm just taking a break from my PS3 at the moment, and I just want to spend some time with the classic games released by Nintendo. For those who don't know, I'm a huge Nintendo gamer. Ever since I was a kid, I loved games released by Nintendo because they all had this unique quality to them where, you know, they're all so memorable. Like my first video game that I've ever played in my life was Star Fox on the Nintendo 64. And I was only like 3 years old at the time, and I still remember it even after all these years. I played so much Nintendo games throughout my whole life that like it sort of plays a big role in my life as a gamer, and Nintendo games have added chunks of happiness to my childhood, whether it's on the N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, GameCube, NES, and whether I played a Nintendo game in my childhood for 2 minutes or 2 hours or 2 years, like I can still remember it after all these years. You know, the music in these games, the iconic characters, and the overall universe in these games, it's just so amazingly memorable. And as a kid, I remember that I never owned it in Nintendo 64, but I had a really good friend who was also my next door neighbor, and he owned a Nintendo 64, and he had all the best-selling N64 games like Mario, Zelda, Smash Bros, all of them. And like I think the only one he didn't have was Mario Kart. But anyways, even though I didn't really own it N64, it still kind of felt like it did because, you know, I pretty much went to his house like almost every day, so I got to play it a lot. And I also grew up playing with the GameCube, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance, and the Nintendo DS. So I had a lot of amazing experiences with various Nintendo games. And that's why I wanted to get a Nintendo Wii. It's because I was always a Nintendo fan, and I wanted to take a break from my PS3 because there were so many classic games from the Virtual Console that I wanted to relive, and there's so many Wii games that I'd consider modern classics that, you know, I want to play those because my Nintendo hormones have been acting up lately, and for some reason in the recent months I had a really strong urge to play the F-Zero games, and I've been wanting to get into them for a while. And so I decided to get the original Super Nintendo version from the Wii Virtual Console, and it was only $8. And I also really wanted to play Mario 64 because unfortunately, I never got to beat this game. Like as a kid, I got to play. I got to play like at my cousin's house and at my friend's house a lot, but those were only like short bursts of gameplay from here and there. But years later, you know, when I got my Nintendo DS, I purchased the Nintendo DS version of Mario 64, and I loved it. You know, and that was like the first time I actually got to fully experience the game. Like, and I got so far into the game. Like, I got so many stars, and I was only like a few stars away from the last boss. And but then one unfortunate day, like at school, when I brought my DS to school, like it got stolen along with a lot of my precious games, including Mario Kart, including Mario 64 DS, and I was just really insanely pissed off. Like I felt like an idiot because and ever since that day I never brought any video games to school whatsoever. And what made me even more angry is that I was so close to beating Mario 64 DS and a lot of my other games that I own, but they all got stolen unfortunately, so I couldn't beat them. And but that was the past. And now that I got a Wii, I actually bought the original Mario 64 from the Wii Virtual Console for only $10, and I'm very happy with it. Not to mention I'm very close to beating the game now. I have more than enough power stars for the last boss at the moment. And I also bought a couple of NES games as well. I got the original Zelda, and I got Balloon Fight as well, which are both among some of my most favorite NES games of all time. And that's what I've been doing recently, gaming-wise. Like, I've just been having a lot of fun with my Wii. Just in case any of you guys are like wondering why I haven't been on PSN for a while, well, it's because I've been on my Wii. And for the past few weeks, I was playing non-stop F-Zero, and I finally beat it, and it was a lot of fun and quite challenging too. Like I beat it on the beginner difficulty, but even that felt hard. And for those who saw my Turtle Talk artwork video, I talked about that I wanted to get into the F-Zero games for a while, and now I'm happy that I got to play it, and it was a very enjoyable experience. Most likely, I'll beat it again on a harder difficulty level in the near future, and that's the reason why I love classic games. It's because you can play them over and over again for hours on end without getting bored, and classic video games have that sort of fun feeling where I just want to experience them over and over. Like, I'm not saying that modern games don't have that, but I'm just saying that classic games are, well, like, you know, they're just classic, and I have a really soft spot for them. And but I haven't forgotten about the PS3 though. Like, it's just collecting dust for now, but I'll get back into it soon. Like, it's just that there's so many games for me to enjoy for the Wii that I can't really bring myself to play the PS3 at the moment, and because there's so many like options on the Wii for me right now, and all my friends are saying things like, "Yo, how come you didn't get Modern Warfare 3 or Uncharted 3 and all those awesome console games?" Well, like I said, it's just that my Nintendo hormones have been acting up lately, and my urge to play Nintendo games is much stronger than my urge to play PS3 games at the moment. You know what I mean? So when will I get back into playing my PS3 again? I don't know, but most likely, if I can find a good deal on Uncharted 3, then I'll buy it for sure, but I won't be able to play it until much later days. As for Modern Warfare 3, I'll just get the game like next summer or something. Like, I mean, Call of Duty is so huge these days that, like, you'll always find people to play with online. Like, I could get Modern Warfare 3 even like 2 years later, and the online servers will still be packed with people. And okay, so that's my gaming life update for today, and please write in the comments below. Like, I know I say this all the time, but I can't stress it enough. Like, I love reading your comments. Like, I'm not saying this because I'm not saying this because we like seeing pages and pages of comments on our videos. No, we really love getting to know like what your opinion is, and like we read every single comment posted on our videos. And so please write any thoughts that you have or any suggestions. Maybe you know a hidden gem for the Wii that I might not have heard of, or maybe you can tell me some of your Nintendo memories while growing up. Let me know, you know. And this is your host, Canadian Turtle, and you've just been Turtle Talked.